Hello everyone. So for our finals, we have here the topic sustaining biodiversity. So for our first lesson, we have biological extinction, its causes and threats to ecosystem. A number of species that comprise a biologically diverse space has interconnection as mentioned in one of the laws of ecology where everything is connected to everything else. So dun sa biological diverse place, may connection daw yang mga yan. Kapag daw may ginawa ka, magkakaroon yan ng effect. Parang gano'n. Everything is connected to everything else. And we have here the term ecological balance. As the term balance, sabi niya dyan, it needs to be maintained, okay? And one for sustainability is to consider the status of biological diversity. Ecological balance, it talks about sustainability na. Sabi ko na sa inyo yung definition ng sustainability. Wherein, ano mo yung ecological balance, ma-identify mo siya by the status of biological diversity. If the ecosystem is diverse such that conservation and restoration is present, all the thriving species, especially the predators and even human, will be greatly benefited. So, in order to have a sustainability doon sa biological diverse natin, dapat meron tayong responsible conservation and restoration for us to attain the ecological balance. So we have here the biological extinction. First, let's have this case study. Sabi dyan, polar bears and projected climate change. Okay. The world's 20,000 to 25,000 polar bears are found in 19 populations distributed across the frozen Arctic. Yung 60% daw ng population na yan ay nakalocate sa Canada. Tapos yung iba, it is located in Arctic area sa Denmark, Norway, Russia, and US state of Alaska. Kung makikita nyo sa image dito, you have here a polar bear, kumakain siya ng seal. Okay, yung mga bears kasi nagsiswim sila from one patch of sea ice to another para mag-hunt at kumain ng seal during winter. At ito yung pagkukuhanan nila ng mga body fat nila, which will result to their energy. Tapos kapag summer and fall, yung mga polar bear natin, magfa-fast sila. When you say fast, yung fasting, hindi sila kakain for how many months? For several months, okay? Usually during summer and fall. Magfa-fast sila, matutulog lang sila, ganyan. Saan sila kukuha ng energy kapag ganyan lang na magfa-fast sila for how many months? Doon sa fats na accumulate nila nung kumain sila nung winter, okay? Kailan magtatagal yung fasting nila? Until ulit maging winter, magre-resume ulit yung hunting nila. Kasi kapag winter, nag-e-expand ulit yung ice, making it more easier for them to hunt seals. Okay? Next, we have here another picture. Ayan, we have here polar bear with her baby bear. Tapos yung nagsiswim na bear. Tapos ito, polar bear sa neighborhoods. Okay? Now, advantage para sa mga polar bear yung makapal yung ice na pinaglalakaran nila at pinaghahuntingan ng seal. Now, due to the shrinkage of sea ice, kapag sinabi mong shrinkage, mas manipis na lang yung ice due to meltdown. Okay? Nagme-melt sila. And kapag ganun daw na mag-shrink yung mga sea ice natin, yung mga polar bear natin, they will have less time to feed and store the fat they need to survive their summer and fall months of fasting. Kaya hindi maganda para sa mga polar bears natin yung pag-shrink ng mga ice natin. Kasi nga, again, they will have less time to feed and store the fat they need to survive their summer. Kapag makukulangan sila ng oras na kumain, syempre, konti lang din yung ma-i-store nilang fat that they will need for the fasting, okay? As a result, manghihina yung mga polar bears natin. Now, we have here the female polar bear na may anak. Kapag daw yung mga female polar bear nanghihina sila, maapektuhan nito yung ability nilang mag-reproduce. to keep their young cubs alive. Okay? Siyempre, kapag manghihina yung mga mama bear, mahirapan sila mag-hunt. Mahirapan din silang bigyan ng pagkain yung mga anak nila. And as bear grows hungrier, they are more likely to go to human settlements looking for food. Kaya meron yung mga balita dati na may nakita daw silang mga polar bear doon malapit sa bahay-bahay nila. Now, akala nila kapag gano'n, dumadami yung population ng polar bears, which is actually baliktad yung case. Nagdi-decrease sila. Yung reason bakit napupunta sila sa mga neighborhood kasi nahihirapan na silang mag-hunt dun sa dati nilang pinaghahantan ng pagkain nila. Kaya they will resort to different places, okay? So next slide, we have here a swimming polar bear. Okay. Magagaling kasi magsimang yung mga polar bear nila. Strong din sila, strong swimmers din sila. Pero yung ice shrinkage, pino-force silang mag-swim for longer distances. Kapag ganyan din, manghihina din yung mga polar bears at mahihirapan din silang mag-hunt for food. Kaya kapag ganyan, minsan pumupunta sila sa mga land para maghanap ng prey which is mahirap din hanapin, okay? According sa 2006 study ng IUCN, World Conservation Union, yung total polar bear population magde-decline siya by 30 to 35% by the year 2050. 2050. And by the end daw ng century na to, yung bears baka mahanap na lang daw natin sa mga zoos natin. Okay? Now we have here, sabi dito, this mass extinction, syempre kapag manghihina ay mahihirapan mag-hunt ng food yung mga polar bears, result nun, mahihina sila. Kapag manghihina sila, they will, worst cause nun is mamamatay sila. And kapag ganun, magdi-decrease yung population nila. Now, these mass extinctions were caused by natural phenomena such as major climate change. Bakit nga ba nagkakaroon ng shrinkage sa ice natin? Again, because of climate change. And large asteroids hitting the Earth, possible din yan. Kaya nagkakaroon ng mass extinction sa mga iba pang animals, okay? Or life, which drastically altered the Earth's environmental conditions. There is considerable evidence that we humans are causing a new mass extinction as our population grows and as we consume more resources and disturb more land and aquatic systems. So, we have fault kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng mass extinctions, human activities. As our population grows, mas kailangan natin ng mas maraming resources at kapag kumukuha tayo ng mas maraming resources, nasisira natin yung ecosystem, leading to climate change. Okay. Scientists project that during this century, human activities, especially those that cause habitat loss and contribute to projected climate change, will lead to the premature extinction of 1/4 to 1/2 of the world's plant and animal species. Hindi lang kasi sa animals tayo nagkakaroon ng extinction, pwede rin sa mga plants natin. At an incredibly rapid rate of extinction, biologists warn that if we keep impoverishing the Earth's biodiversity, eventually our species will also become impoverished. Siyempre, kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng overexploitation, yung ecological balance na sinasabi natin, mawawala yun. Kapag nawala yun, magkakaroon tayo ng extinction. Okay? Another biologically diverse ecosystem is beneficial for every organisms thriving in it. However, the diversity is not a permanent fixture, especially in the presence of drastic factors like excessive and uncontrolled human activities or natural factors that may pose vulnerability of the ecosystem to collapse. Yung extinction kasi class, natural yan na mangyayari but due to human activities, mas parang pinapabilis natin, okay? Now, we have here one example of, of uncontrolled human activities, okay? We have here desertification. Sabi dyan, It is the degradation of land in arid, semi-arid, and dry subhumid areas due to either climatic variations or human activities. It is one of the world's most alarming global environmental problems caused by complex interactions among physical, biological, political, social, cultural, and economic factors. If you look at this slide, ganito yung desertification na makikita natin. Dito sa first image, ayan, tigang na yung lupa niya, wherein dati is malago pa siya. Parang nandun yung green na makikita nyo. Pero at some point, dahil sa overexploitation, ayan, yung nangyari. Parang naging disyerto na siya. Parang desertification yung term na sinasabi natin. Ganon din dito sa pangalawang picture. Next, when a species can no longer be found anywhere on Earth, it has suffered biological extinction. Now, ito yung term na biological extinction natin. Kapag hindi na daw makita or mahanap yung species ng animals or plants na yon, it has suffered biological extinction. Now, ano ba yung biological extinction? It is an irreversible process wherein a biological population forever ceases to exist. Kaya kapag nawala yan, hindi na maibabalik pa. Yun yung term na irreversible process natin. Hindi mo na maibabalik pa. Kaya once na nawala na yun, wala na talaga. That is according by IUCN 2020. And ayan, yung sinasabi ko kanina, extinction, natural biological process yan. Pero dahil sa kagagawan natin, mas pinapabilis natin yun, which is not good. Okay? Now we have here the quote from Mr. Edward O. Wilson, a biodiversity expert, wherein sabi niya, the natural world is everywhere, disappearing before our eyes, cut to pieces, mowed down, plowed under, gobbled up, replaced by human artifacts. Okay? And we have here by Worldwide Fund for Nature. In 2008, they estimated that the world's species biodiversity declined by almost one-third since 1975. So, noong 1975 pa nagkaroon na tayo ng decline ng biodiversity natin due mainly to habitat loss and the legal and illegal global trade in wildlife. So tayo lang din yung may kagagawan kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng decline sa biodiversity natin or the term na biological extinction. Now we have here yung IUCN na sinasabi ko kanina, that stands for International Union for Conservation of Nature. It is the first global environmental organization that collates and monitors the population of species around the world, including a red list of threatened species. So yung IUCN natin, sila yung nagmo-monitor ng mga number of populations ng mga population ng species natin sa buong mundo, okay? When you say red list of threatened species, ano yun, ma'am? That is established comprehensive inventory of conservation status of the world's flora